music is the dirtiest business by far and away. He's like even dirtier than adult actors. You know, like he's like, it's the worst, the dirtiest. He's like, I've seen people screw over their own family. I've seen people screw over their own best friend. And like,
is it because the nature of songs that it's hard to prove on paper who wrote what? Is that what it is? Or is it just the egos in music? I wonder what is it specifically about music that brings that out of people?
I'm sure they could speak to it better than I could, but there's one aspect of it I think is it's hard to quantify like what someone's contribution is worth, right? Like if you only have like out of 100, what did you do out of the 100? You know?
Yeah.
So I think it's subjective. Some people might look at like what I did on that song and say like, oh, like 10%, like that's like really generous. You probably could have gotten like 25 or you could have gotten more. Some people might be like, oh, but you didn't write the lyrics. So, and you didn't write the vocal melody. So like you didn't really write anything. Like, but lyrics is definitely a big part of it. Like songwriting, like when you think like a song, you look up how to play a song, you get the lyrics and you get the chords above the words. But, and now you're limited to lyrics and the chord progression, maybe the melody. And if I write a guitar solo, that means I get nothing. Like that's not fair, you know?
Yeah. So I'll share a little story of my songs as well. So now I don't have any legal issues and my songs aren't popular yet, but okay, I'll get there. I co-wrote songs with my ex-boyfriend. You were at my house at the last podcast. You saw the drum set and everything. He was a drummer. And I think you met him actually briefly. He and I had co-wrote songs together. And what we did was we just kind of jammed out together. So he would lay down the drum beats. And I mean, obviously some are popular drum beats, but he did also write his own drum parts and fills and everything like that. You know, he wrote the drum parts. And I wrote the melody and the chords, okay? And then we co-wrote the lyrics together. Now, we broke up, you know, the relationship broke up. And when we were breaking up, I was like, what do we do with these songs? Because we co-wrote these together and I don't want to take these. I was like, do you want to split the songs? Like you start your own band and you can use these songs and I start a band and, you know, I use these songs because we did try to work out as a band together. We actually did continue to work in the band together after being broken up. And it worked for some time. Weirdly enough, we actually worked very well together for some time. But when it started becoming complicated was when he started seeing somebody else and she would come to the shows and I would start to get a little bit jealous. And he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, we're broken up and he had a new, I don't know if it was a girlfriend or some girl he was fucking, you know, or something. But can you tell there's still a little, no, there's no anger. When she came to the show, he didn't do anything wrong, but I started getting jealous. And then we were like, okay, this isn't going to work. Realistically, if I date people and you date people and they want to come support our shows, we can't, you know, do this anymore. So I talked to him about it. I was like, what do you want to do? Should we just literally put the 8 songs, like we wrote about 8 songs, put them in a hat, you take 4, and we go our separate ways. And I told him to think about it. I wanted to be as fair as I possibly could. And I was willing to do that, which would have been devastating because I would basically be losing. There's some of the songs I really loved, but I wanted to be as fair as I could. And he came back to me and he said, look, I don't really plan on starting another band. You can do so much more with these songs than I could. So he was like, why don't you just take all the songs and if they ever blow up, give me credit for them. Now we don't have a written contract on it, but I don't know if that were to ever happen, but if I did record them and they did blow up, I would give his name credit. I would definitely give him a really good percentage. I don't know how much, again, it's hard to quantify how much drums and partly the lyrics is, but I'm not going to I'm going to keep my word, even though it's not written in paper. I'm going to give him verbal credit so he can use his name on things, and I'm going to give him money. And it is hard to quantify because it's like, yeah, from one perspective, you could look and say, oh, it's just the drum part, which I don't think that. I'm just saying like somebody else could say that. But I could also say, but our chemistry together is what made the songs. Even if I wrote the melody and the chords myself and part of the lyrics, they wouldn't exist if our chemistry wasn't there to create them. So it's like, on one hand, he is 50-50. Even if it was just drums and a little bit lyrics, like he's still 50-50 because those songs would not exist if we weren't together and our whatever vibes weren't together. I don't know what else to call it, but some spiritual thing. Our vibes weren't together creating this music together. So in a way, it's like he does deserve 50% of that for that reason. Yeah. So going back to your story, 10% is, I think you deserve more than 10%, but the fact that you were willing to compromise on 10% and they gave you such a hard time, it's crazy. Hey guys, it's me, your host, Andrea Pranzatelli. If you enjoyed this clip today, please don't forget to hit subscribe. It is my dream to become a full-time podcaster, and your support helps more than you could possibly know. So again, hit that subscribe button to help me keep the momentum going on this channel. Also, for every single clip, there is a link in the description to the full episode if you would like to hear the full episode. And I also have a link to my Instagram below if you'd like to follow me on Instagram as well. So that's it. Have a good day, guys. Bye.